She had a loving husband and 4 children. But when her husband shared his joy, she felt nothing but annoyance. Unbeknownst to herself, she was destroying her own marriage with her own hands. She'd met her husband at a party, and they'd fallen madly in love almost instantly. But 7 years later, everything changed. He traveled constantly for work, and when he came home, he did nothing but rest. She was left to care for the family alone, having given up her career to devote herself entirely to her home. One day, when she saw him walking through the door with a smile, she flew into a rage. A fight erupted. After another business trip, he'd barely stepped inside before she started complaining again. Fed up, he decided to file for divorce. She fell apart. They tried marriage counseling, but their arguments only got worse. He moved out, leaving her to raise the kids alone, angry and bitter. She started seeing a therapist, who asked her to reflect on their marriage. All she could remember was pulling away when he tried to hug her, or tuning out his good news because all she could think about was his next trip. "Why do you keep pushing the person who loves you away?" the therapist asked. She fell silent. She went to see her mother, hoping for comfort, but her mother only criticized and belittled her. It was always this way. She'd been dismissed by her mother her entire life. Overwhelmed with anger, she finally asked, "Why do you hate me so much?" Her mother froze. "I was just raising you the way my mother raised me," she admitted. In that moment, the woman realized she'd become the person she hated most, her own mother. Back with her therapist, she finally confronted the truth. It wasn't that she didn't love her husband, she was terrified of losing him. The therapist looked at her gently. "Do you love yourself?" Tears streamed down her face. Later, she stood in front of the mirror, trying to find kind words for herself. For the first time in her life, she was learning to love who she was. When her daughter came home from school and snapped at her, she didn't get angry. She knew she'd played a part in the tension at home. Finally, her husband asked her to meet. They both apologized.